Hi, you're watching Reddit Shikstore, and if you're looking for a story that doesn't start with butterflies in your stomach and a happy ending, you've come to the right place. My name is David. I'm 49, and I'm a meteorologist. My life is about predicting storms from invisible barometric anomalies, reading fate in the curves of high-altitude jet streams. I learned to see chaos as a system. My marriage to Laura I also considered a stable high-pressure system, a zone of clear, predictable weather. We've been together for 22 years. The first sign of the approaching cyclone was her laugh. Not the one at home, tired, short. But a new, silvery one that flashed in her office when she thought I was on the other end of the line. It's just colleagues, David. A boring planning meeting. Her colleague was Robert, the new CFO at her marketing agency. A man 10 years younger, with a smile bought from a good orthodontist and a habit of wearing shirts with rolled-up sleeves in an office kept at 70F. I started collecting data, like before a forecast. Little things. In her Google Calendar, to which I had access for planning family dinners, recurring events named client/fitness appeared on Tuesdays from 7 to 9 p.m. But her gym bag was gathering dust in the closet. I checked the transactions on our shared card. Every Tuesday, exactly $47.80 at a small, unassuming Italian bistro Luigi on 4th Avenue, 25 miles from her fitness club. The amount for two. I didn't make a scene. I went on a reconnaissance mission. On Tuesday, I took a day off, put on dark glasses and a cap, and by 6:55 p.m. I was sitting in my car across from Luigi. Right at 7:10, her gray Toyota pulled up. She got out, adjusted her skirt. A minute later, Robert's black Lexus rolled up. He got out, put his arm around her waist, a quick, confident, intimate gesture, and led her inside. My heart didn't race. It seemed to turn to ice. Inside, what grew wasn't rage, but the cold, pure concentration of a forecaster seeing a tornado form. Revenge against his career would have been simple. An anonymous call to HR about violating the workplace relationship policy. But that was banal. He'd find another job. She'd be fired. And what? They'd reunite as victims? No. I wanted to destroy not their status, but the very fabric of their illusion. Their little, tacky world of Tuesdays. I wanted their secret to become their prison. I called my plan Operation False Front. In meteorology, that's a boundary that looks like a real atmospheric front but brings no real change. An illusion. Infiltration. Robert wasn't just a womanizer. He was a pathological narcissist. His life was a carefully staged performance for social media. A productivity guru, into biohacking, a successful investor. All of it, a fraud. I created a fake Instagram profile. Annabelle Reed, an heiress from Albany, interested in art and psychology. I filled the feed with stylish but impersonal photos, bought from stock sites, followed him. A week later, he wrote first. Love your sense of aesthetics. Are you an artist? A dialogue began. Annabelle was dreamy, a little sad, admired his aura of authenticity. I studied him. He boasted about connections, money, influence. I asked for advice on investing in contemporary art. He, of course, knew all about it. I gently hinted at my loneliness after divorce. Creating tension. I persuaded Annabelle's friend, another fake, to write to Laura on Facebook. The message was ingeniously simple. Hi Laura. We don't know each other. I'm writing because my friend is in a very vulnerable state right now. She's seeing your colleague, Robert. He's telling her he and his wife are divorced. I just need to know, is that true? I don't want her to get hurt again. Laura received this message on Monday evening. The effect was instant. That night, she didn't sleep. I heard her tossing and turning. The next morning, she was pale. I asked if everything was okay. Just a migraine, she whispered. I saw her staring at her phone, nervously typing something to Robert. He, of course, denied everything. Some crazy woman, he must have written. But the seed of doubt was planted. Her idol had developed its first crack. Controlled chaos. It was time for a direct strike. I learned from Annabelle that Robert had boasted about his connections and promised her a private tour of a closed contemporary art museum on Saturday. This museum did not exist. On Friday, I sent Laura a text from an anonymous number, via an encrypted app. Laura. I know about Robert. I'm not his wife. I'm the one he's cheating on you with right now. Tomorrow at 3 p.m., he promised to meet me at the entrance to the Crisp Gallery on 5th Avenue. Come and see for yourself. Don't reply to this number. The next morning, Saturday, I told Laura I was going to a conference. I left, but returned and took up a position in a CAF opposite the Crisp Gallery. At exactly 2:55 p.m., Laura appeared from around the corner, hiding behind a column. She was in dark glasses, but I would have recognized her posture out of 1,000. At 3:05 p.m., Robert drove up. He got out of the car, looked around. He was waiting for the non-existent Annabelle. He nervously checked his phone. And 20 feet away from him, behind a concrete column, his mistress was hiding, watching him wait for another woman. I saw her body tense up. I saw her clutch her purse so hard her knuckles turned white. She stood like that for 10 minutes, until he finally got irritably into his car and drove away. She stepped out from behind the column. Her face showed neither anger nor pain. It was empty, icy bewilderment. She thought they had a special, secret world. But it was just his usual Tuesday, moved to a Saturday. The finale that looks like an accident. I didn't wait. On Monday, I sent Robert a final message via Annabelle. I know everything. You're not only married. You have someone else, besides me and your wife. I saw you waiting for her on Saturday. My brother is a lawyer. You'll be served. Don't contact me again. I immediately deleted the fake profile. To him, Annabelle simply vanished, leaving behind the ghostly threat of a lawsuit. That Monday evening, Laura came home with a dead expression. She walked silently into the kitchen. I asked how her day was. She turned around. Her eyes were red, but there were no tears. David, she said quietly. Robert is resigning. Moving to California. I raised my eyebrows. Suddenly. Problems. He said he needs a change of scenery. That everything became too complicated. I nodded, pretending to study the forecast on my phone. Yes, I said thoughtfully. Sometimes pressure builds up unnoticed. And then the system collapses suddenly. All because of one wrong parameter. She looked at me intently. A long, piercing look. And in her eyes flashed something beyond grief, a raw, animal understanding. She didn't know it was me. But she understood that their little world didn't collapse. It was dismantled. With surgical precision. She didn't leave. We didn't get divorced. Sometimes I think she stayed out of fear. Not of me. But of that faceless, cold force that can so easily turn your secret life into a trap. We live together. We talk about the weather, the bills, the kids. Our home is a high-pressure zone. Quiet, clear, dead. Without a single breath of wind. I won by preserving the form of our life. But I lost, because now I live inside my own, perfectly forecasted, and utterly lifeless anticyclone. To defeat a storm doesn't mean to see the sun. Sometimes it means forever remaining in its calm, terrifying eye.